Hi, I'm Gina Jonan. I'm an in-house counsel for WEAC, which most people know as the Public School Employees Union, and I am primarily responsible for all of WEAC's social media work.
Hi, I'm Judy Williams-Kalaki. I'm a partner at Quarles and Brady, and I represent employers with various issues, including assisting them with social media issues that they may have. Today, we were focusing on social media issues from both the employee and employer perspective, and we started with a brief overview of social media, and then we went through the employment relationship, from recruiting to the actual employment relationship to post-employment.
Well, I think the really exciting thing about social media is that there really is no typical issue that it comes up. I would say it really depends on what we do. Because I work for a union, I really get involved in two main areas. The first is if an employee is accused of some kind of misconduct, whether that was off duty, when they were maybe Facebooking at home or tweeting something at home, or if they were actually in the workplace. So they might have used the employer's equipment improperly or posted something at work while they were supposed to be working. So I get primarily involved with the disciplinary aspect, or I get involved in the bargaining of the social media policies. So for example, was the policy supposed to be bargained? Maybe it wasn't. Maybe the policy is too broad, or maybe there's some aspects of the policy that's illegal, where an employee or a union wants to challenge the policy. But I think the exciting thing is that social media is always changing, and the law is always changing, so just because whatever we're dealing with might be happening today, we really don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. So it's challenging, but exciting.
First of all, I think that lawyers need to be aware that if they have a non-union company, they still need to be considering these issues, because the National Labor Relations Board can, in fact, issue charges against non-union companies if they're making decisions based upon the postings of their employees that might be protected concerted activity. And the fact of the matter is, the general advice memos, or the advice memos from the General Counsel, are very helpful. It's just because it's so new and things are developing, I think it's taking a while for us to be able to sort of parse together where the council is going with the law and how it's going to interpret it.
I think one of the things about the law that's challenging is the law does not keep pace with technology, because by the time the courts have ruled on a certain technology, it's already almost not obsolete, but for example, email. I think that courts have finally addressed email, and we think we understand the email parameters, but now we're off to Facebook and Twitter, and who knows what's going to be the next application. So I think it's really important to stay in touch with your colleagues, especially in this area. Judy and I are both members of the Labor Employment section for the State Bar, so I would say definitely join the section. We have a listserv where people share new cases that come out. And there's other really online services that I think are really helpful, like Wisconsin Court of Appeals and Supreme Court. They also announce their decisions if you want to sign up for any of those emails. So I think that's really the way, rather than monitoring the court docket all the time, that if a case comes down, that you can really find out about it. I think the other thing is just to network with your colleagues, that, labor employment attorneys, that I think we're a smaller section in Wisconsin, and so the more that you come to events like this and network and get to know your colleagues, the more that, at least I know in the labor community, if some big case comes down, or even if people are litigating a case, we let each other know that and say, hey, watch out for this, or have you seen this? And we sort of brainstorm with each other. So I think that's been really helpful for me personally.
When you come to the conferences in particular, people talk like social media policies. What are you doing? How are you trying to address some of the issues you're seeing in the advice memos? And I think that's really helpful to be able to get perspectives from different lawyers on how they're trying to address the issues.